Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. A warm welcome and a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is truly a global channel. And my name is Caroline Heward and I'm known as the Harley Street Stress Expert. Our show today is Talking Heads and I'm an expert presenter in today's topic, which is letting go of emotional relationships. And it's part of the Mind and Body Connection series. I'd also like to give a very special and warm welcome to our new viewers on E360 TV. A very warm welcome to you and to all those that are watching live and, of course, on the replay. Let's begin. I'd like to start off with a quote from Lebo Grande. He says, "The type of relationship you have with your own desires is fundamentally determined by either the noise and toxicity that's in your mind or the love and passion that's in your soul." And I thought that was an amazing quote to start off with by Lebo Grande, because it starts to set the scene for our talk today. John DeRuiter, he says, the place of connection or separation in relationship to your own being, the place in yourself where this occurs is in your heart. John DeRuiter. And this is exactly what we're going to cover today. It is about the place of separation is in your own relationship and your own being in your heart. So what is an emotional relationship? Well, there was a lot of aspects I could cover about an emotional relationship. And trust was, I felt, the fundamental core of an emotional relationship. We can be in an emotional relationship with different types of people. We can be in an emotional relationship in a friendship that is non-intimate. We can be in an emotional relationship with somebody that we are working with, somebody that we've met, somebody that we are doing some tasks with. I'm in an emotional relationship with people on this platform. So I'm in an emotional relationship with my beautiful broadcaster who's behind the scenes and managing and host and extraordinaire, the amazing Dr. Jacqueline. So we are in emotional relationships in different aspects of our lives. Also, obviously, the most fundamental one that we think of is our relationship, our intimate relationship with others. But what about the emotional relationship that you are in terms of your family, your peers? What about your friendships? What about your colleagues? And what about the person that you connect with that's doing some work for you within your home or within your personal life? We develop emotional connections with all types of people in all aspects of our life. It can be your siblings, your parents, your aunts and uncles, your nieces, your nephews. So we are in emotional relationships everywhere in our lives. And I feel that the fundamental thing that comes across all of them is trust. We are connected emotionally because there is a space of trust that we have with the other person in that emotional relationship. And you can just meet somebody and feel an instant connection. You can feel on top of the world because there's like common language, there's common values, common viewpoints, common understandings. It's like they just get you. They know who you are and they get who you're being. And they're there for you if you are needed when they need you, and vice versa. So what is it that creates this emotional link with somebody that we may not have known for very long? There's like an inner beingness, an inner trust of that person. There's an inner beingness of feeling comfortable with that other person. And so it's not just about the intimacy of the relationship, albeit that might be the biggest that we think about when we're thinking about emotional relationships. And so we can be in an emotional relationship with our parents, with our siblings, and with the wider sense of the word emotional relationship. Trust. You feel that you can trust them. And that trust develops a cord. It's an energetic cord that binds you in the most unbelievable ways. And so when there is a miscommunication or a breakdown of that trust, or wishing to let go of that emotional relationship, it comes with all sorts of caveats and challenges because there is an emotional bond. There is a cord, an energetic connection with that person. And that's why it's not as easy to let go of an emotional relationship. And so today's presentation is going to look at some of the things that are good to let go of and how you can comfortably and effectively let go of an emotional relationship. So one of the first things that I want to look at is timing. You know, we're in relationships all of the time. Our first relationship is self. And so we're in an emotional relationship with ourselves. And however we're being with ourselves, if we're in an angry space or a sad place in our relationship with ourselves, or a devoted place, or a pampering place, or an exorbitant state, high state of being place, we are in a relationship with ourselves, whatever that is. And how we are in our own internal relationship reflects externally into our external relationships, whether they be intimate, peers, colleagues, family, friends, social. However we're being internally expands into our external world. We are the creator of how we experience. So it is much, much cooler to look after your own internal relationship so that you can manage all of your external relationships really effectively and get the most out of your time with each person. So time, when something stops working or when you've moved away from it, when you've changed, when you've evolved. So it doesn't mean that the other person did something wrong, but sometimes there is a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so we're not in emotional relationships with everybody all of the time, just for a small fraction of time with somebody that might do some work for us, somebody we might be in a project with, somebody that we might have employed to do something in our personal lives, like bookkeeping, for instance, for myself, or my accountant. I'm not with him 24/7, and yet I'm in a really lovely emotional relationship when we hook up together. And my accountant's wonderful, and I always make him laugh because the crazy therapist that always gets everything done on time. And yet I don't have it done months and months ahead of time because I'm not the accountant. I always get it done at the 11th hour. But he always laughs at me because he always gets done. He always gets what he needs timely for him to do what he needs to do. So I'm in an emotional relationship with my accountant, with my bookkeeper, now with my gardener, who did incredible work in my garden and dug up all the weeds, and he just transformed my garden. So I'm in an emotional relationship with each person I connect with. And so this is how we are. We connect with people at different levels. And sometimes the time is over. The time of that relationship is over. It's done. And so there is a letting go. So timing is critical. I'm not in and out of that emotional relationship and being 150% there with my accountant only when I need to do something and he needs something from me. Otherwise, we stay pretty calm and not so connected. But when I do have to connect with him, then the emotion is fully there. The blame game. When we want to end a friendship, an intimate relationship, a colleague relationship, a partnership, something that's stopped working or the work is done, sometimes our humanness moves into this space of blaming, of going into, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, I'm not happy about this, and we move into this strange blame and shame game. And my invitation to you is to move out of the blame and shame game and just look at how that's affecting you. Because if you're pointing the finger at the other person and you're in that blaming and shaming game, you have that negative effect of that talk externally, because you will feel the negative effect of that blaming and that shaming and that anger that you will express to the other person. So my invitation to you is to give them tons of love, tons of compassion, and tons of gratitude for what you're grateful for what they've given to you and the time that it worked in terms of your emotional relationship. And sometimes our humanness gets in the way because we don't want to let go. We want to make them wrong so that we can let go. My invitation is to shower them with tons of gratitude for what they gave you, for how it was when things were great and what you gained from that emotional relationship. Beliefs. When we believe that the person is doing us harm, when we believe the person is trying to do us harm or being negative towards us, then we start to feel that negativity internally inside of us. So if we are believing somebody is out to get us, or they're doing us wrong, or they've done something bad to us, then we will get that internal knock-on effect of what we believe. Because if we break down believe, it's be lie, and so we are be lying to ourselves and having the effects of that extraordinary negative experience. So my invitation to you is to move your beliefs about that emotional relationship into the positive, and looking at and focusing on all the good things that were good out of that relationship, so that you focus and gain more of what you were grateful for and more of the great stuff that was good in that relationship. Forgiveness. When you forgive yourself and the other person for what you believe went wrong, what you believe didn't work. Because if we hold on to that anger, that frustration, if we hold on to what's not working, what happens is we're holding a hot coal and we're hurting ourselves in that hot coal of anger. If we forgive, if they've done something bad to us, if we forgive the situation, if we forgive the what, the when, and the why, rather than forgiving and needing to feel that the person that did us wrong, rather than feeling that we have to forgive the person that they did wrong to us, forgive how we experience that experience and forgive the situation. The person still did something wrong, and that can be resolved by forgiving the situation, the experience, because the person is a human being just like you and me and experiencing life, and they have evolved from their experiences of life. And we are all on a healing and a learning journey. So forgive the situation, forgive how you felt, and forgive how you responded and reacted. Because in that space of forgiveness, you're actually giving yourself huge amounts of healing and compassion and a beautiful way forward to move in your life so that you experience the best possible experiences in your life. Gratitude, I've just touched on in terms of being grateful for everything in that relationship that was whole and good for you. Being grateful for the experiences, the shared experiences and the individual experiences. Being grateful for what you had from that relationship through the person, through what you shared, and of course, other relationships that it included. To highlight and to be focused in the state of gratitude. When you move into the altered state of gratitude, it moves your vibration into a heart vibration. And when you are in the altered state of gratitude, you bring more into your life of what you're grateful for, and you will encourage more of those emotional relationships that into your life that are going to be nourishing and good for you as you move through. It is really important to take care of yourself. And what I mean by that, it's not just about, for a woman, a manicure and a pedicure, although we might think about those things as being self-pampering. It's more about how you sleep. Do you sleep? Do you rest? Do you nourish your body with good food, or are you junking out on pizza and pasta? Are you looking after yourself in every possible way in terms of your thoughts? Are you feeding and nourishing your mind with good thoughts, with positive experiences? We are living in estranged times, in our changed world times, and it is sometimes so difficult to focus on the good stuff and to care about oneself when we are struggling and when we are moving through challenging times. Even the smallest thing that you can do is to nourish your mind, nourish your heart, and nourish your soul with meditation, with exercise, with good food, wholesome food. And to even nourish yourself with nourishing water rather than drinking fizzy Coca-Colas and fizzy drinks, which actually create a negative effect on the body and don't have a good impact in your life. To nourish yourself and feed yourself with everything possible so that you feel good. Self-care is not just about the manicures and pedicures. It's absolutely about everything that you nourish yourself with. And that's good nutrition for your mind, your body, and your soul. Emotional mastery, when we focus on negative experiences and negative feelings, we will create a very acidic environment in our body. When we are being angry and when we are persecuting someone else for something they did to us, we then nourish our body with that anger. Even though we're reaching out and stretching that anger to somebody else, we are experiencing that internal acidic environment, which can cause all sorts of acidic challenges within our body. So arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis. It will create acidity in the gut, it will create acidity in our mouth, and it will create huge amounts of pain in our body. So emotional mastery is to transmute that acidic environment that we are creating in terms of our anger and our emotions, and managing them and transmuting them into positivity, into healing, and to heal those parts of us that are struggling in the emotions, that the negative emotions that have an effect, a huge detrimental effect on our body. When we are in very negative emotional states, we actually have a negative experience, and it causes all sorts of flare-ups. When we are in a state of alkaline, and what I mean by that is in a state of calm, in a peace, and we can reach that state in being in an altered state of gratitude and harmony and compassion for ourselves, for others, and for everyone in our universe. Letting go. When we let go of an emotional relationship, I'm not saying this is easy. I'm actually saying that sometimes it's really difficult to let go of an emotional connection, because it becomes part of us, it becomes real for us, and it becomes part of our journey. But letting go unconditionally, letting go without reprimand of them coming back to us, you did this, you did that, letting go unconditionally, in compassion. When you do that, you'll be surprised at how much friendship in terms of that relationship will come back if it's real. You cannot lose what's real. Let me say that again. You cannot lose what's real, what's meant to stay. And if you let go of what's not working in that relationship that you're letting go of, when you truly unconditionally let go of what doesn't work, what's left is what's real and true in that relationship. Let me say that again. What's left and true when you've let go of what's not working and you start focusing on what does work, it will bring in more of what works in that relationship and in other relationships that you attract. Remember, we are in a relationship with ourselves. That's our very first relationship, ourselves. So letting go energetically. If you need to grieve, to cry the loss of that relationship, that emotional connection, because something better is waiting for you, and that is the first relationship being self. And you're fueling and feeding self. A relationship is for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So who knows which point that you're in that relationship with the other person. It might be a reason, it might be a season. And a lifetime doesn't just mean the lifetime, your lifetime. It might mean the lifetime of you're in that situation, that beingness, that time, that work colleague, that time of the job that they were doing for you. So letting go from a place of unconditioned. And when you place no conditions in letting go, you will feel lighter, easier, and you will feel much more brighter in your energy, and you will feel energized. And even though it's difficult, and I'm not saying it's easy to let go of that emotional relationship, you're actually feeding yourself for the next connection. I like to let go of what's stopped, what's finished, because I know other emotional relationships that I am ready for are waiting just around the corner. Here's a quote by Steve Maraboli. He says, The truth is, unless you let go, unless you forgive yourself, unless you forgive the situation, unless you realize that the situation is over, you cannot move forward. I feel that this quote by Steve Maraboli really sums up what I've been sharing with you today. Unless you let go, unless you forgive the situation, unless you let go and forgive yourself, you cannot move forward. Steve Maraboli. Thank you for your attention and your interest. Please subscribe to USA Global TV and Radio. You can find all of our talking episodes under the playlist Talking Heads. Please do reach out to me if I may be of service to you. You can contact me on nomore@live.co.uk or reach out and call me on +44 if you're international, 0 if you're local, 7523 120 189. I look forward to helping you bust through your stress. I am here for you and I offer a free 30-minute consultation. Please reach out to me so I may help you break through your stress. I offer programs of 8 sessions and a follow-up, or smaller programs to bust through each symptom. I look forward to helping you let go of your emotional relationships. Namaste.